Kilarigbo Live TV, ìkànnì amúlùdún àkọ́kọ́ tó ń gbé àṣà àti ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ Yorùbá lárugẹ.
Ibi tá a wà lọ́jọ́ tòní náà ni Lagos Judicial Panel, àjọ eléyìí tí ìjọba gbé kalẹ̀ láti gbọ́ ẹjọ́ eléyìí tó súyọ níbi tí #EndSARS.
Nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní pé on the 24th of October 2020 a wà nínú ilé. Ọmọ mi Moshood Ajayi, first born, that's the only child tí mo ní. Ó wà nílé ó ń ṣoúnjẹ fún wa lọ́wọ́. Bọ̀ èmi ń gbọ́ bí ìbọn ṣe ń dún nínú ibi tí mo wà. Mo ń tẹ̀ láti sọ fún everybody tó wà nílé pé ẹ má jáde o, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ dẹ̀ má rán ní iṣẹ́ lọ sí anywhere o. But because kitchen ló wà tó ti ń dáná. In the next 20 minutes, a kàn gbọ́ ìbọn yẹn tó wọlé wá ní gbà bó ṣe wọlé ó wọnú ibi etí ẹ̀ ó jáde ní the other side again. Ká tó try ní pé ká gbé ká rọ̀ṣẹ̀ àṣà try àgbé bá ṣe ń rọ̀ṣẹ̀ lọ adébí local government council àwọn ọlọ́pàá kan wà lọ́dà àjọ níbo là ń lọ a ní ìbọn yín náà ló pa ló lọ́yìn sí ló pa ọmọ yìí nígbà fẹ́ sáré rọ̀ṣẹ̀ wá ní àwọn òkè ń pé àwọn náà ti gbọ́n pé ká sáré rọ̀ṣẹ̀ adé gbàtàmádé railway hospital àwọn ọlọ́pàá yẹn sọ fún wa pé ó ti dákẹ́ ń gbé ká máa gbé lọ́lé àṣà láti gbé padà àwọn gbàtàmádélé kánsẹ́lọ̀ wà rẹ̀ kánsẹ́lọ̀ wọ́ọ́dí ó wà á pé ó pe chairman local government ní kó issue as in muslim ń gbé kan lè fi òkú ẹlẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kàn lọ sí ní àtàn ó dẹ̀ issue letter fún chief imam wọ́n dẹ̀ gbé even though gbà tá à ń lọ tó fẹ́ lọ sí àwọn ọlọ́pàá yẹn dá wa dúró gbọ̀gbà tó fi lẹ́tà hàn pé àwọn ọlọ́pàá yẹn sọ pé àwọn ti gbọ́ pé àwọn náà wà rẹ̀. After all lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn some days later ìyá ẹ̀ lọ sí pàǹtí ó lọ make statement pé nǹkan báyìí ṣẹlẹ̀ ó bá woman kan counter ó sọ pé òun ìyẹn wọn pè ó kẹ̀ lálàjà ó lóun wà rẹ̀ ń pé nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ń pé òun wà rẹ̀ ń pé but kò sí nǹkan tó wọn fẹ́ ṣe sí kò jẹ́ kó kọ statement even though DPO wọn wà rẹ̀ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ and then ọba tó wà ní àdúgbò yẹn táwọn sọ pẹ̀lú à òun náà tún wà rẹ̀.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ti ṣe mọ̀ wípé ní ogúnjọ́ ọjọ́ ní oṣù kẹwàá ọdún 2020 òun náà ni ìfẹ̀hónúhàn amílẹ̀tìtì ti #EndSARS ká sọ wípé bóyá lọ́jọ́ náà lóró wá pé gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ agbébọn tó jẹ́ ọmọ ológun ti orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà léyìí tí wọ́n bùgàdà tó bù ṣe gèdè kọrí lọ sí agbègbè Lekki toll gate tí wọ́n sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní yin ìbọn mọ́ àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n jẹ́ ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn fọ́nrán tá a rí léyìí tó ṣàfihàn wípé àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n wà ní apá abẹ́ǹgan lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn wọ́n mú àsíá orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n sì ń kọ orin orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà lẹ́nu àmọ́ nǹkan tó gbẹnu tán ó ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ náà lára àwọn tó ṣẹlẹ̀ tó gbẹnu tán òun náà ni àjọ ti Lagos Judicial Panel léyìí tó sì jẹ́ wípé kì í ṣe Lagos nìkan ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó nìkan ni àjọ yìí ló ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ́n gbé kalẹ̀ káàkiri àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ eléyìí tí ó wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà àmọ́ lọ́jọ́ tòní ẹni tó jẹ́ amòfin Additional Ogunlana òun náà ni wọ́n pè léyìí tí àwọn agbẹjọ́rò léyìí tí wọ́n máa ń pè ní cross examination ni wọ́n fẹ́ máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa tàkùrọ̀sọ pẹ̀lú iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà látàrí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ tó gbẹnu tán ní apá abẹ́hùn ẹ̀yin máa wò wípé kí ni nǹkan tí a tún fẹ́ gbọ́ lọ́jọ́ tèmi ẹja wọlé ká wo ohun tí wọ́n ní sọ àmọ́ kẹ́ má wàá gbàgbé wípé lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ó ṣe ìwà ìbàjẹ́ ìpani nípa àyà ìpani nípa ìlẹ́tọ̀ọ́ léyìí tí ó ti gbogbo tó sì ti jẹ wọnú ara àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ àjọ ọlọ́pàá pàápàá jùlọ ẹ̀ka tí wọ́n pè ní SARS àmọ́ lásìkò tá a wà yìí ìpani nípa ẹ̀sìn kò tí ì tán lára àwọn tó jẹ́ ọlọ́pàá orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà léyìí tí gbogbo wa sì mọ̀ lẹ́nu lọ́ọ́lọ́ yìí tẹ́ bá gbàgbé tẹ́ bá rántí òun náà ni wọ́n pa ọmọdébìnrin kan ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó yìí náà ní agbègbè Sùúrùlérè léyìí tí wọ́n porúkọ rẹ̀ ní Monsurat a ò wí pé bóyá ó ti tán kò ì tán ó sì wà ń bẹ̀ lára ẹ̀ náà òun ló gbé wa débì tá a fi wá gbọ́ ohun tí wọ́n fẹ́ tí wọ́n tún ní sọ ní àgbọ̀n ti àjọ eléyìí tí ìjọba gbé kalẹ̀ tí wọ́n pè ní Lagos Judicial Panel. Ẹ̀yin fẹ́ mọ̀, àwa náà fẹ́ mọ̀, òun náà ló jẹ́ ká wá bí kẹ́ ẹ bá lè mọ̀ ká lè já yín tán kẹ́ ẹ lè mọ gbogbo nǹkan ṣe ń lọ látàpá bí òun náà la ṣe wà ń bí lẹ́ni. Ẹ má gbé kúrò lórí Kilarigbo Live TV. Èmi náà ni ọmọ yín olólùfẹ́ yín AY Bello, the Starboy presenter yín náà rè. Mo wà ń bí o, ẹ já wo ohun tí wọ́n tún ní fún wa.
Your computer and bring all manners of garbage before this.
My Lord, I take a section to that line of choice of language for my benefit. What do you mean by garbage? What's apologize to that choice of language? Out of 100 videos, you are pointing one and you are telling saying they are garbage.
The garbage I'm referring to is this video.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That is garbage, Mr.
Out of 100 videos, you are saying garbage. My Lord, I take a section from that choice of language. You cannot address my commissioner of police that is went to go and bring garbage. What do you mean by that?
Computer language.
My Lord, yes, my Lord. So my little friend, I take a section further on that choice of language, and my little friend was apologized.
Ìjẹ́ lè sọ bóyá ó ṣeé ṣe kí ìdájọ́ eléyìí tó yè koro kó ṣe.
Ó ṣe ní láàánú pé ní orílẹ̀-èdè tàwa yìí kò sí ìdájọ́ tó yè koro lọ títí, but àwọn láti gbìyànjú láti jẹ́ ká fìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé àwọn àkànṣe wà láti jàfẹ́tọ̀ ọmọ ènìyàn láti jẹ́ ká ní ìdájọ́ tó yè koro, because inú ìlú ìkan náà láti rí àwọn adájọ́ tán tí wọ́n ṣèdájọ́ òdodo lórí ẹ̀sùn tó fi kan àwọn ọmọ ara wa kan lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí, but nípa pé à ń retí ìdájọ́ tó yè kó lọ́dọ̀ wọn ò ní pé àwọn èèyàn láti dìde láti jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé ìdájọ́ tó yè kóró lè wà lẹ́fi rí àkọlé yìí lápẹ́ ní ìdájọ́ kò sí àyè fún àfìdájọ́ àtìdájọ́ tó yè kóró làá fi wà ń bí lẹ́nìí.
Yes. Is this the guy that you said was holding his scorpion, the gun? Yes. Now, I want you to, because you brought this photograph, this video, aside from apparently his hand, in that video, are other people armed? No. Thank you. Now please play this video and let's see the action of the gentleman. Loud. We had the voice last time.
Bluetooth mode.
Thank you. Now, from this short video, who was the aggressor there? Or active? Who is the active person there?
The person holding the weapon.
Holding the weapon. And did you hear what he said?
Not very clearly.
Not very clearly, but he was addressing the crowd. So, all right. Are you putting, that's what I was asking about, too, are you putting this gentleman down as an NSAS protester from what house?
Definitely is among them.
Okay, so that's the answer, is among them. Among them as?
As a protester.
Not as an agent provocateur, agent of provocation. That's what I was asking. And I want to be fidel, to be sincere, as a trained veteran senior police officer. What you have watched, is this person a protester, more of a protester, or an agent of provocation?
Well, He was among the protesters.
Thank you. Thank you.
So whatever is there for, I wouldn't know.
Thank you. Sir,
Yeah.
you mentioned that the doctors you gave evidence that when doctors treat patients for gunshot injuries, they have a duty to report to the police. Is that right, sir?
Very true, sir.
What law? What law says that?
A lot of the environmentally opposed. A lot the witness is not before this panel. Wait, I'm addressing the cops. You can only give evidence of what he saw, investigate. You can't ask him question on law. If Ogulano wants to ask law, he should ask me. I am here as a mouthpiece and a legal officer of the police. Please argue the law. A lot the witness cannot answer questions on law. He's here to give evidence on facts and figure
Any other question?
No, my lord is the difference. The gentleman is a law enforcement officer. How is it possible that one could not ask a person who has said before the panel that doctors cannot do this? That's what I'm asking him now. Which law states that? And it's not just a corporal. This is a commissioner of police. Is it too much for me before a panel of investigation to say direct us to the law?
a mọ̀ pé tí àbá wá bíbá ilé ni wọ́n lérò pé àwọn ti ṣe ohun táwọn máa ṣe àwọn dẹ̀ ti lè lọ bọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn ìdí àti àwọn ẹ̀rí ta ti rí ta ti fi múlẹ̀ nílé ẹjọ́ yìí ó jẹ́ ká fún wa ní ìdánilójú pé a ní láti jà fún ẹ̀tọ́ wa a ní láti tẹ̀síwájú láti máa wá ìdí òkodoro ọ̀rọ̀ lórí àwọn tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ EndSARS ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ní Lẹ́kì adé dá wa lójú kòròdó pé àwa máa rí ẹ̀tọ́ wa gbà bá ṣe ń ba lọ yìí sáà.
As the head of operation, whether before or after, are you aware that the Security Council of Lagos State met with the governor presiding and with your commissioner in attendance, and they now decided that the best thing to do is to declare a curfew? Are you aware? Or you just learned of the curfew just like any other person?
Just like I said before, I am not a member of the council. If my commissioner of police was invited, he will not inform me because I'm his lower rank that he's going for a meeting and I was called by the governor of the state. He won't inform me because I'm his subject. He can inform the Inspector General of Police, but he will not inform me.
I understand. Thank you, sir. You heard of the announcement of the curfew just like any other citizen on the radio.
Very correct, sir.
You confirm that the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Moshood, never briefed you as the head of operation Lagos State about the outcome of the Security Council meeting on the issue of curfew?
Until it is being declared by the executive governor of the state or whoever it delegates, he cannot be active, we cannot enforce it.
I'm not talking of enforcement, sir. I said the Honorable Commissioner, your boss, did not inform you as the head of operations. You only, after the meeting, did not inform you about the top echelon of the police about the outcome of Security Council meeting in Lagos State on the issue of curfew.
They did not inform me that there's going to be a curfew later in the day. It was until it was declared that I got to know about it.
Yes, you mentioned that policemen have their uniforms. You mentioned black on black, you mentioned black and neon blue. And which other type of blue?
This one I'm wearing, I told you, is urban camouflage.
Camouflage.
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware, sir, and this will test you, are you aware that policemen are known to be clad in other clothes while in operation, while on duty, different from uniform. Like wearing jeans, like wearing slippers, like wearing scarves. Are you aware? Like wearing vest, multicolor vest. Are you aware, sir?
Well, any police officer that is dressed that way cannot carry weapon that will identify them as policemen. They can only be, intelligence officers that mingles among the crowd, that mingles and try to get intelligence.
You mean, sir?
You have not served the post.
You don't know. AG. Now, thank you for the answer. What I'm trying to say, what you said now is that any officer just this other way, the intelligence officer, and they will not be carrying arms that will show them that they are police officers. Is that what you are saying?
No.
All your 25 years of experience of policemen dressed in assorted dressing and carrying not just pistols, but carrying rifles and wearing slippers. I want to be very clear that it has never happened before, to your knowledge, openly while on duty.
Well, if you see anyone like that, show me the picture so I can tell you why it's looking like that. If a policeman wants to carry long rifle, he must at least be wearing what we call the body armor that indicates police across the chest. So you will definitely know that is a policeman, maybe that is going for a mission, an operation, especially when they are in the state CID.
So you have agreed that just as perfect.
No, they must be in uniforms that are fitted, clothes that are fitted, that will give them the ability to move easily. And they must have body armor with indication of police.
All the time.
Like the disbanded SARS, you will see them with SARS written across their body armor.
And that from the 13th of October, the police withdrew from the Lekki toll gate. Am I right?
I was on ground on 13th, so we could not have withdrawn on 13th. That 13th, you will remember, I showed you a video of myself addressing the protesters at Lekki toll gate. So if I said by 13th we are withdrawn, you will not see me at Lekki toll gate by 13th. And it's that same 13th that the governor of the state, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, came to address them in company of the deputy governor of the state. And even my commissioner of police was on ground that same day. So it was not 13th, sir.
So when did you withdraw?
I told you the commissioner of police gave directive that men and policemen protecting the protesters around the Lekki toll gate to withdraw on the 14th of October after their abuse on the governor of the state.
You will still go there. You are misleading the panel now. He's misleading the panel. He said, did you know that that has a day of forwarding is quite different from the day of recording?
You need to go take oath instead your photo.
Yes, but you don't need, when you are misleading the panel, it is my duty to correct you. The day of forwarding to the panel is quite different from the day of recording. So, ask him a question and let us get to question.
You will have been the one to answer the question.
No, you cannot mislead. You cannot mislead. You submitted your petition in 2020. I cannot ask question on it on 2021 and say, this is the day you submitted your petition. Don't mislead the people.
My lady, I want to say that with due respect, that we have been asked to be professional and effort. I thought with due respect that Mr. has a possibility of re-examination instead of, because Mr. Bakunju did not conduct this date, it is what is on the film that was referring to. Please, for the gentleman either to explain, or if he didn't explain, or couldn't understand it, for Mr. My learned friend to do re-examination to clarify the ambiguity. It's as simple not to be interject and distract and take away from the precious time of his other duty.
My lord, it is not so fair for a lawyer to be go on white goat chase or fishing for answers from his questions. The date of recording and the date of submission is different. My lord, ask one please. Ask one please.
Gentleman police officer, that video has a date on it. And I want you to be very careful. That video, I will still ask you where you got it from because maybe I should give you expo before you answer. The kind of video and the platform where it was gotten shows time and date when it was made. You cannot lie. That video, what date is on it? Mr. Ejof, it is really not too important, but look at it and see the date of the video you have brought before the panel investigating a protest of 2020. Your computer and bring all manners of garbage before this panel.
My lord, I take a section to that line of that choice of language from my identity. What do you mean by garbage? What apologized to that choice of language? Out of 100 videos, you are pointing one and you are telling saying they are garbage.
The garbage I'm referring to is this video.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That is garbage, Mr.
Out of 100 videos, you are saying garbage. My lord, I take a section from that choice of language. You cannot address my commissioner of police that is went to go and bring garbage. What do you mean by that?
Computer language.
My lord, yes, my lord. So my little friend, I take a section on that choice of language, and my little friend was apologized.
Honorable Commissioner, I hope you are not offended. Thank you very much. We are doing, these are duties of state. All I've just said to you, and I'm very grateful for the kind clarification of my lord, is that the police, what you have come to present before this panel, is not the report of any investigative activity. What you have simply come to present before this panel were things you obtained from the internet. Yes or no, Commissioner?
Videos don't lie.
I've not called them liars. I'm just saying that you have just gotten all manners of videotapes, including the ones of November, packaged them and brought them before the tribunal.
That is not true.
Okay. But this one says it is true.
This is as a result of NSAS protest. There was high rate of crime that rose up after the NSAS. Some people came to my office and saw statistics of crime wave that happened after NSAS. Even
I don't want you to
February
use my time on this
2021.
I don't want you to use my time for that. Now, Mr. Ejiofor, Mr. Commissioner, during these protests, since you are a very computer-savvy individual from what you have been able to gather, you also have learned, if not first time, at least through the internet, that there were attempts to disrupt these protests by hoodlums, people who came and attacked the protesters. Are you aware of that, Mr. Commissioner?
There were attempts
to break the ranks of the protesters with force.
Can you give dates, sir?
I'm saying between the 8th and the 20th. Were you aware of any time when there were thugs who tried to say you will not protest again? Was there any time?
I'm not aware.
But you are very aware of every other thing other than the fact that there were attempts to disrupt the protest.
I am not aware if thugs or whatever you call them try to destroy their protest.
Thank you, Mr. Are you also aware, Mr. Commissioner, that some people who had untoward behavior, who tried to pilfer, who tried to be violent, were arrested by the protesters and handed over? Are you aware?
I don't have such a report.
So you are not aware at all that people were arrested and handed over to the police? You are not aware?
I'm not aware of such reports. I'll say so.
Now, let's do, because of these answers, we have to go to the video. So that we do it once and for all. After the 13th, until 2021-22, your men were not at the Lekki toll gate. That is your testimony before this.
I said from 14th, not 13th.
Not from 14th.
Yes, sir.
So they were not there on the 14th?
Yes, sir.
They were not there on the 15th?
Yes.
They were not there on the 16th?
Yes, sir. I heard, as was reported by the DPO, that the toll gate was burnt on the 20th.
Okay. But you are not aware that the NSA protesters were not there as from the first.
Just like I told you, we withdrew to our barracks, to our stations since the 14th of October, when the Commissioner of Police gave that directive. And I also give evidence that the protesters had to get the employment of bodyguards and bouncers to protect themselves. So since 14th, we have withdrawn. So I don't know how long they stayed behind till the crisis started.
You mentioned that the DPO Baroko.
Yes.
What's his name?
DPO Baroko, I told you before, is CSP Raji.
Right.
Let's check the second name right now.
Is your man, sir?
I have 110 DPOs under me, so I cannot crown all their names.
Don't worry.
I want to try to get the second name, sir.
Who is going to take time to find? Raji what?
Daniel Raji.
Ganiu Raji. Okay. How did CSP Ganiu Raji know? According to you, he told you that the place was burnt on the 20th of October 2020 and you have withdrawn since 14th. How did CSP Ganiu Raji DPO Maroko, how did he know?
I told you, Morocco, and the Lekki toll gate is under its jurisdiction. If anything major happens within the jurisdiction of the DPO, he owes the Commissioner of Duty to inform him immediately that this is what is happening. It does not necessarily need to be there. We have informants everywhere. We have police officers. Civilian informants, paid informants are available everywhere. Do you want us to identify paid informants? No, we can't. They are not policemen.
You are having conversation with me now.
Kilarigbo. Bá mi ò dán mọ́rán bọ̀ ẹ manage.
Kilarigbo Live TV, ìkànnì amúlùdún àkọ́kọ́ tó ń gbé àṣà.